Hi everybody, Ed Diaz here. In today's video, we're going to learn how to assign drum sounds to the sample pads of the FA-06 FA-08 music workstation. So let's get started. So here's another great thing about the FA-06 FA-08 is that I can assign samples to the pads. I cannot technically assign the drum kits that are inside the FA-06 FA-08 to the pads, but there is always a workaround because there's a full-fledged sampler in here. So check this out. First off, I'm going to check the FA's pad utility and make sure it's set for sample pad. So mine is already set for sample pad, but just in case yours isn't, go ahead and press the pad mode button and then make sure it's set for sample pad just by choosing pad 1. So once again, now let's go to pad utility and let's look at the sample pad. Now inside the FA we have 4 banks we can go to. So I'll go ahead and use my cursor button and go up, and you see bank 1, bank 2, bank 3, and bank 4. Now inside the FA there already comes some preset samples, but you can go ahead and use whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and go to my drums, and I'm going to choose power session. I just selected it. And I'll go ahead and put my octave down. So now that I have my drum kit selected and we're going to work on the bass drum and the snare, I'm going to press the sampling button inside the pad section. So press sampling, and there we see all my pads and all the different samples that are currently on there. Let's go ahead and select pad 1, and the keyboard's going to say there's already a sample there. Do you want to override it? So I'm going to go, yeah, okay, that's good. So override it. So here's where we get some good options. Inside the FA, I can go ahead and I'm going to use my dial wheel. I can choose to resample the keyboard and the input, because remember, the FA has the input, so if you wanted to go ahead and plug in another instrument or some vocals in there or whatever, you can actually do that. Or I can go ahead and say keyboard only, or I can say input only. Well, for our example, I'm going to go ahead and say keyboard, and so the FA is actually going to resample itself. So that's pretty cool. Now I also have some other different settings to look at. So I'm going to use auto trigger in this one. So turn it on, and you see it now waiting for a signal. And so as soon as I hit that bass drum, it's going to go ahead and sample it. And then I'm going to have to manually go in there and press the stop button. So I'm going to hit the bass drum, and it's going to automatically start because it's set on auto trigger. So let's get one nice bass drum. Great, now I have it. Let's press stop. And there's my sample. So now that I have that sample in there, I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm going to press the rename button right here, and I'm going to call this one kick. So I'm just going to use my dial wheel, cursor over, and let's go ahead and name this one kick. And go down, there we go. And now go over and press delete, and now it's set OK. And so now the kick will be on pad number 1. So let's exit. So now when I press pad number 1, there it is. So let's go ahead and do this again, but this time with a snare drum. So once again, I'm going to go to sampling, press the sampling button, and I'm going to go ahead and press pad number 2. It says the sample's already there. Do you want to override it? And I'm going to say okay, override it. And this time I'm going to go ahead and choose a snare. Now don't forget, if I wanted to, I could exit. Let's exit out of here. I can go shift, and I can go into tone edit and actually go ahead and customize. So maybe on the snare, I like the snare, but maybe I want to adjust the tuning. So I'll go into here first, adjust the tuning, maybe adjust the brilliance. There we go. Let's go ahead and exit, and then once again press sampling, pad number 2, something's there, execute, and now once again I'm going to put auto trigger, and I'm going to hit that snare drum and get a very nice resample of it. All right, so it's waiting for me. Let's go ahead and get a real nice sample of it. And now I'll press the stop button, and there it is. So I can go ahead and press preview. That's it. Go ahead and press rename, and I'm going to name this one snare. Okay, and now I'll press exit. So now if we go in and let's exit again. So now inside there, I have the bass and the snare. That quick and that easy. Now, before you go away, you have to come in here and save the studio set. When you see that little yellow check mark, that means something's been edited inside the studio set and it needs to be saved. Or if you go away from it, what you've created or edited or changed or added will be lost. Okay, it's going to go back to the default. So I'm going to press the right button and I'm going to press studio set and I'm going to press enter. Now it just asked me that edited tone is going to be discarded. Now if I created my own custom drum kit before I went into sampling, I might want to save it so I can call it up again quickly and use it in other samples. It's totally up to you. But I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to discard that drum kit tone that I was working on. And then for our example, I'll go ahead and rename this studio set and I might call this, I just went and deletes. I might go ahead and call this one maybe my beats. So there we go. There we go. And I'll press OK. And let's put it on number 8. Press the right button. And now it's saved. So as you see, creating and editing your own custom drum kits, be it PCM drum kits or Supernatural drum kits, is pretty easy. Just make sure you go ahead and save those drum kits inside the FA. You know, save those tones. And then once you have those tones saved, so you can call them up later, then you can go ahead and use the sampler that's inside the FA and resample them inside the FA to whatever specific pad you want. So that's something that's real cool. And then once you're done creating those samples to the pads, make sure and save that studio set so you can call it up later and then go ahead and create music with it. All right, you guys take care. I hope this helps you out and we'll talk to you later.